Seterusnya, majlis mempersilakan daripada kategori pengalaman pembelajaran imersif teradun daripada Universiti Sains Malaysia bertajuk Engaging Learning in Active and Meaningful Learning via a Complete Blended Learning. Dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Panel of the jury, friends from far away and nearby. Okay, my presentation of blended learning, the title is Engaging Learners in Active and Meaningful Learning via a Complete Blended Learning. So I've been teaching in USM since 2004, and I've been teaching this course, PET 102, which is Oral Skills for TESOL. And over the years, see, I've been teaching for 10 years, almost 10 years. And over the years, I found that one of the biggest challenge is students lacking the 21st century skills, especially creativity, collaboration, communication, and critical thinking skills. So these are the things which sort of like prompted me to figure out how I can motivate and encourage my students to become more engaged so that their 21st century skills will be enhanced. Okay. So that was my first rationale. The other thing is, look, I'm dealing with future English language teachers, and one of the main concern is that they are not very confident. Even though they have learned English, they have MUET 4 or 5, the minimum requirement is 4. But the thing is, they lack confidence, whether it's interacting in public, whether it's interacting among their peers, or more glaringly, interacting with the lecturers. And I noticed this. And this course is taken during the first year. And the whole project that I initiated way back in 2004, it was rather progressive in nature. It's not like I came up with one thing in one academic year and that's it. I went through a lot of learning processes, trying to make it better, sharpening things, enhancing so many aspects of teaching and learning. So it was a 10-year project, I would say. All right, so hopefully, my aim was at the time to enhance their oral skills, and by that, in future, they can become effective English language teachers. And you would notice that this is in public. This is done in public, and if you, just behind this is a restaurant, Subaidah restaurant, so if you are very familiar with Penang, but this is in campus, all right? All right, so my approach, I use a Complete Blended Learning by Graham 2006. Many of us think that blended learning is only about face-to-face and e-learning, or the use of technology. Actually, complete blended learning, or the real concept of blended learning, requires 3 elements, as suggested by Graham. All right? So this is the, I hope it's clear. This is the blended learning suggested by Graham, and the focus is on the 21st century learning. The first element of Graham model is different instructional modalities, which refers to, it could be in the form of materials, it could be in the form of environment, it could be anything that is related to modalities. The second element is different instructional methods. The use of different methods is not only teaching or group work. Every time we go into the classroom, it's group work. So the methods must also be different. And then, of course, the involvement of technology. And all this, the 3 elements of Graham's model, what I did is I integrated with various learning theories and models. The whole idea is, and some of the activities that I came up with included different learning theories. And the whole idea is to engage them in learning. Now, I'll just give you some examples. For example, the instructional modalities. For example, the classrooms are outside. For this particular project, the classrooms are outside. That means they have to present in public because it is oral skills in TESOL. And to do in the 4 walls, I don't think it serves the purpose of communication. The other example is public as live audience. And some of the activities, they need to interact with audience whom they have never met. The second part is the different instructional method. For this instructional method. There are individual assignments, there are pair work, there are group work, there are also class work. That means the whole class, they are supposed to do an activity which was to conduct a language camp at the primary school. All right. The third one is online face-to-face instruction, online and face-to-face instruction. And in this, I use Facebook as a learning e-portfolio for the students, and for myself as the teacher learning e-portfolio. So the one Facebook account with the group, PET 102 2018, it serves two purposes. One for the learners and one for me as the teacher. And this is where you have the online reflection, interaction with me in the form of reflecting, they uploading artifacts, pictures, videos, and so forth. So student engagement in terms of cognitive, they have to be very creative. And remember, the thing is about being creative is you need to be brave. And it's not easy for these students to be doing this in front of a restaurant and entertaining them while they're having their lunch or breakfast. And these are not costumes that are made by tailors or bought. They're made by themselves, all using discarded materials, used materials. And they are only allowed a budget of 5 ringgit to buy gum, glue, or strings, you know. It's only some small, minute things. Everything that you see here are discarded materials. Huh? So the element of creativity. So I try to engage my students cognitively, mainly through giving them tasks that would sort of like bring out the best of their creativity level. Effective. So these are some of the responses, reflection in the Facebook, and you can see this one talking about confidence, and here motivation. Actually, there are a lot more, but since 10 minutes, I wouldn't be able to present everything. But just to give you an idea, in terms of effective, they say how much it has changed them from a timid person who was not willing to, very shy to converse in public, to one who's able to do so. And engaging with the live audience. And I did a pre and post test, sort of like a survey, and these are the effect size. They clearly said there is a huge difference before and after, and this is the effect size. And you can see the effective, especially in terms of their confidence and self-belief, have increased. Collaborative, the psychomotor, they're working together. Creativity and critical thinking, cognitive, it has also sort of like improved. This is one of the responses from the student. Okay, I'll just let you read and let it sink. So in terms of knowledge and skills, there are many responses, so I'm highlighting the ones which are quite significant in terms of knowledge and skills. And you can see that, for example, this Elise, she says that the activities done have helped me in improving on the most important skills required for 21st century education. So these are the reflection. They have a few types of reflection. One is ongoing. So every week they need to post an artifact, and together with it, their reflection, as well as at the end of the entire course. So this was a continuous version of their reflection. This one, as part of their group work, because the class of 50 plus students, they were divided into different groups. And each groups, they were required to perform a drama. And I usually have different themes of drama. For this particular year in 2018, the theme was Tamil movies. But, of course, they are not going to speak Tamil. So Tamil movies, the dialogue, everything done in English. Of course, the songs of the songs of the movies are in Tamil, right? So in terms of attitude and social skills, you can see the cultural awareness. It's not because of the Facebook, I think it's more of the activities. So how we design activities and how we integrate the tasks that they need to complete and accomplish, that will make out the cultural competence or whatever that you want them to experience. Okay. Now this one is voice modulation. Voice modulation is the one where they have to be an animal. They have to create their own costume and they have to act out like an animal. And as part of that particular project, what they need to do is to come up with different animals. So they actually have to come and sit with me and discuss the kind of animals. For example, if one has presented that animal in the previous semester, for this semester, he or she will not be allowed to do that animal. All right, so to conclude, for this particular year, most of the students, I think all of them got A-, right? A-. So in USM, we have categories of achievement. So if Cemerlang means minimum, all of the students must have A-. They have gained various knowledge and skills as per discussed. It has impacted them individually and collectively as a community of learners. And I believe the approach was successful, right? But the potential of such a project is that I believe it is applicable to other academic programs and courses, especially the ones that involve first year. And the whole aim is to improve their communication skill, especially with the use of English. Right? I think that's all. Thank you very much. My lips got stuck.
Saya tanya dulu ya. Okay, Prof. You blend a lot of things. You blend methods, strategies, modes, and so on. What about roles? What about your role in the whole process? I mean, sometimes we even blend roles. Yes.
Okay, that I actually did. For example, just to give you some, for the drama, all right, the students' roles obviously to act, and they have, for the drama, I just sat back and I became an audience. I didn't even evaluate. Because the evaluation, I told my students, you need to find your own evaluators. You need to find the backdrop and everything you have to do. I'm just going to be there and enjoy your show. So even the assessment was not done by me. It was done by their peers. So they had to find their seniors who had gone through this course. And in USM, we have School of Arts. They have also invited some lecturers, School of Arts, as well as seniors of School of Arts to give the assessment. So that is one role whereby I just sat back and I said, I'm not going to be the teacher. I'm just going to be the audience and see how you deal with the drama project. And also for the language camp, it's the same thing. But for the language camp, I had to assess because it involved them creating activities for listening and speaking. So that language camp is also a requirement for their course as well as a community engagement. And what they had to do was they had to go and find a school and they had to offer this language camp for primary school students. And as part of it, I just looked at their, their activities because they have to develop their own activities. Which are related to listening and speaking. So once that was done, then they are on their own. But I did go to the school, observe them, and ensured them, this is the grade that they deserve as a group. Because that was the entire class project. Because the language, they had to deal like almost 100 students. And my students, I had, I think about 52 or 53. So that was a class project whereby they were working as a community of learners.
Okay, you said you started this project back in 2018?
No, 2004. I started teaching...
2004, for 10 years?
Oh yes, since 2004. Okay. I was teaching this course for since 2004.
Yeah. But you collected the data for which cohort?
2018.
2018.
But to tell you honestly, every year I do collect data.
You do collect.
It's just that for this application, because in the one of the syarat, I think they said something done from 2018 to 19. So whatever I'm presenting here are data from 2018. But I do have data from as early as 2010 up to 2019.
Okay. So you mentioned also that all of them get A1, A minus or so?
For the
For this particular group.
particular cohort.
Okay, so that achievement is based on several activities, including
Exactly.
ongoing and also the final exam.
There is no final exam. This is
There's no-
100% coursework.
Or coursework.
Yeah.
Okay. Then this
Because
is
the focus is on the skills.
language skills.
language
This is for the
skills.
third year or second year?
First year.
Oh, first year. Okay. All right.
Sometimes when we go into too much activities, we are worried about achieving the learning that the course is aimed to,
Yeah.
to achieve. So they are supposed to improve their
Oral communication skills.
oral communication skills. How do you evaluate that at the end of the day?
Okay. For their individual oral, that's why I have different layers of tasks. For example, the voice modulation is an individual work. This is where, this is very important, the different instructional methods. So like I mentioned just now, they have different instructional methods. They have individual tasks, they have pair tasks, they have group tasks, and they have the whole class. They are working as one group. So the most demanding is the bigger projects, like the language classroom, the language camp, as well the drama project. So that's why they have bigger members. So the tasks and the burden responsibilities are evened out. It's just the individual, and the creativity is ongoing. So that means what they need to do in the process of them coming up with the costumes, they have to post it on the Facebook gradually. The first posting is where did they find? So they need to take the picture of wherever dump site that they found their materials. So and then slowly showing us. So the tasks are not very burdensome. It could be challenging, but the whole idea is I want them to be challenged, because becoming an English language teacher these days is not an easy task, especially English language. For other subjects, they also have their challenges, but the fact that when you're learning a different language from your own mother tongue is a very challenging task. So I need to prepare my teachers accordingly, and I hope by doing this, they are well prepared.
How do you see extending this to other courses? Are you doing? Teaching?
No, because this course is very specific to my school of education. But like I mentioned there in the conclusion, it can be applicable. It can be applied to other courses, especially if the other schools in USM, if they feel that English language communication and oral skills is very important, then I can do this, but a shorter version. The whole idea is to give them confidence so that they are able to converse, engage, interact publicly with whether lecturers, with public, or their peers. So I think that can be done. And in fact, I actually have a community project based on the language camp, which I have been doing since 2010. And it has now, for the last 5 years, we have been operating it at an international level. So it can be done. And this is open to all school children from the age of 10 to 16.
Applying the same
technique
on
school children. So that we have already been done. That we have done it at an international level. In fact, I've been invited to Maldives and Indonesia to conduct this camp over there.
I have one last question, Prof.
Yes.
What is the credit hour like for this course?
This one is 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 credits. Sorry, 3 credits.
Yeah, 3 hours, 3 credits. So meaning out of the 120 hours, right?
Yeah.
How many hours of those are basically independent learning
For
by
them?
the student? Yeah.
I would say for this particular course, on their own, I would say at least 50%.
50%. But it
because-
looks like a lot.
Yeah, it looks like a lot, but the thing is, that you see, the whole idea, like I said just now, it is a lot. But that's why I have different layers. For example, I said the group work, it lessens their burden. So, for example, the drama, it's a spoken activity all the time. So some of the tutorials that I have with them, I allow them to do their training
I see.
In public, so that I don't engage them directly, but they do their training or whatever task that they need to do during their tutorials.
Okay.
We still have time, right? Yeah, okay.
Kejap, nak kena minum melekat.
Say, for example, if you're not around, you're not teaching this course anymore, someone else, take over. Do you think that person would subscribe to your idea and continue doing what you've been doing?
I don't know because I've been doing this since 2004. So it's a good suggestion. But the thing is,
meaning that do you have a second liner, someone you groom, perhaps to carry out, the same approach, perhaps?
see, the others are all otais with their own minds and thoughts, with their own ideas. But I actually have one student who graduated under me. He is teaching in another school. So I'm thinking, he was one of the first who was involved in this project. So I was thinking to myself, if he was to work in our school, most probably he would be the one. But it's a good thought, for me to ponder because I have another 10 more years. After that, I don't know what's going to happen to the course. Yeah, this sort of time. Okay, thank you very much. Ada lagi nak tanya? Okay, welcome. Thank you very much.